Hello, we are Team 5 S.E.E.K. I'm the first presenter, Hee-Jin Yoon. Today, we will present about design optimization of a RPV nozzle in nuclear power plant. This is our content. First, I will explain about introduction. Demand for electricity is increasing globally. According to the IEA, nuclear energy is the second largest source of energy in low-carbon power generation. So most nuclear power plants use pressurized rotor reactors, PWR. This is primary coolant rotor is pumped under high pressure to the reactor core. Then, the pressure vessel of the PWR must withstand high temperature and high pressure. According to previous studies, the nozzle part of RPV was the most critical part under mechanical and thermal laws. Furthermore, we considered the possibility of bending moment during operation in the structure of the RPV. Therefore, our objective is parametric study with simulation in complex load conditions. Then we suggest the practical design guideline. We first investigated the failure modes of the pressure vessel as shown as in this table. In this mechanism, the main causes are internal pressure, bending moment, and thermal loss. Next is background knowledge. According to the failure regions, not only the monotonic load, but also the moment caused by cyclic bending have to be considered. When the cycle loading condition occurs, the failure may occur under the limit load because of the accumulation of residual stress or plastic strain. So, this project is going to consider the nozzle up to elastic shakedown as a safe design. Therefore, we will provide guidelines to designers through shakedown and limit load boundaries. The following is the numerical method in this project. That is linear matching method, LMM. As we mentioned in the last presentation, LMM is less conservative but more accurate in inelastic response. Next, Junyoung will explain about our FE model.
Thank you, Hee-Jin. My name is Junyoung Yang. From now on, let me explain our FE model and model validation briefly. Firstly, geometry of RPV is made through abacus following the previous study. The mechanical properties are applied temperature dependently with following this table. And in this project, EPP, that is elastic perfectly plastic model, is considered as a conservative hardening model. In operating condition, internal pressure and axial tensions are applied like figures in left side, and IP and OP bending moment are applied, which is the same value with the yield stress in the straight pipe case. For boundary conditions, frictionless support, X-symmetry, and thermal gradient are applied. Furthermore, to save computational cost, the geometry is simplified like light figure. The important point is that the same mesh should be constructed on our interesting nozzle part in this part, with following previous mesh conversion study. And finally, model validation shows only 2.2% error with the same stress contour. So this design model can be final model. From now on, next speaker Han will continue the presentation.
Hello, I'm Han, and I will talk about the result of the reference model analysis and the parametric study result. This is abacus linear analysis result for RPV nozzle structure. The bending moment occurs at the point where the thickness of the nozzle changes in the working load. This is caused by geometric discontinuities. This demonstrates the need for a correct assessment of the structural integrity of the nozzle. This is the limit load and elastic shakedown limit boundary computed by LMM IP bending moment. The result point is that it can be confirmed that there is a margin between two curves. This can be explained by the boundary conditions applied to the bottom of the support pad causing plastic deformation. And this is OP bending moment case. Unlike previous case, two boundaries are equally derived without a margin. This is because there is no constraint in the OP direction around the nozzle. This is the combined bending moment case. Similar with the right before case, two curves are derived identically. This means that when the two bending moments act together, they are not sufficient to induce periodic plastic behavior other than elastic shakedown. Now I will talk about parametric study. This is our variable settings. There are radius and thickness variables. The range of the radius value is set through the proved articles, and the ratio of average radius to thickness was set to 5, 7.5, and 10, because the value beyond that becomes the thin pipe standard. This is the element numerical calculation result for the IP bending moment. As with the reference model, you can see that margins are generated for all variables. This is the OP bending calculation result. When the radius is 389.5 mm and when the radius to thickness ratio is 5, a margin occurs in the last part, and when the radius is 425 mm, the red line also has an overall difference. Finally, it is the calculation result of the combined bending. When the radius is 425 mm and when the radius to thickness ratio is 5, a margin occurs at the end. From now on, the next presenter Youngjae will discuss about parametric study and present the conclusion.
Thank you, Han. Hello, my name is Youngjae. From now on, let me talk about discussion of the parametric study. When the IP bending moment is applied, there is a margin between plastic collapse boundary and shakedown boundary. Also, as the thickness increases, the margin tends to increase. In the case of the OP bending moment, like IP bending moment, the load-bearing capacity tends to increase with radius and thickness. And in two cases, there are margins, but when they are applied together, there is margin in only one case. So, based on the parametric study, the semi-empirical formulas are derived by second polynomial curve fitting. These formulas make engineer can compute or predict the limit value without time-consuming and complicated FEA process. From now on, let me wrap this presentation up. First, we did an assessment of the reference PWR RPV nozzle. By this process, we could check the critical part and tendency of the load-bearing capacity. Then, we set parameters with respect to geometric characteristics. After set the parameters, comprehensive parametric studies were conducted. Finally, the semi-empirical formulas were derived. We can benefit a lot from the results of this project. Designers can simply check the collapse limit boundaries of the structure without FEA process. Also, after setting the necessary limit loading value, optimization design is possible using the derived equations. From Capstone Design Project 1, we tried to stick to the original purpose of Capstone Design. The Capstone Design is identifying the problems encountered in the real industrial field and developing ability to solve them. Through the project, we were able to give insight into the field of nuclear engineering, which was recognized through a presentation at the Korea Society of Mechanical Engineering Conference. This is Gantt chart, individual project and missions, and block diagram based on the team role. Thank you for listening.
This is the reference paper list that we have referred to. On a side note, we are now preparing to submit the paper to the overseas journal after the thesis correction with our supervisor. And we would like to wrap up the Capstone Design project by giving thanks to our MSD professors. Thank you for your considerate support for a year. Thank you very much.